Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The 51st day of Operation Free Spawn. This is not the first time that we have had to debunk global lies and propaganda, but this is the first time I'm attacking the issue from this angle. The people of Lopez and their allies have been taught a few phrases which are honestly ridiculous, and despite being debunked by real Charlesonian patriots, they continue to spam them like the conversations never happened. This, of course, is a sign of ignorance and lack of cognitive ability to form their own arguments or even change them based on the simple facts. To combat this, I'm making an announcement to all AFFS members to stop arguing with these people in chats of any kind. They will not listen and are just trying to get a rise out of you. Instead, send me any arguments they make and we will debunk them on video to save everyone's time. Firstly, we will debunk the common phrase. Alliance for Free Spawn. You have spawn. Why is the war still going on? Answer. This one is pretty complex, but at the heart of the issue, it is very simple to understand for anyone who isn't just a non-thinking drone. First, you must remember who started this war. Despite what the low-P liars will have you believe, it was them who started the war. They were at first very arrogant, talking about how they had no chance of losing. Obviously, they were wrong, and now they want the war to end. Or so they tell you. We have attempted to negotiate peace with them on a few occasions now, and at first they wanted everything to go back to normal. They are yet to win a battle now a month into the war. The deaths of AFFS members outside of the recent cheater battle number were less than 10, which Lopez has suffered over 100 deaths in battle. And yet they want the war to be considered a draw. They want the spawn to go back to the way it was before the war. They want all of their territories back. And guess what they would have offered us in return for this? A couple of cities they stole during the coalition war that they have since yet completely trashed and blown up. We attempted to try and make their deal fair. We said that we will return the territories for those stolen during the coalition war, and the territories in the middle north spawn region. They would admit we won, and peace will return. This offer was made out to be crazy, but why? As I said, before we have won every single engagement we have been in with the Lopez army. The only time they have even come close to killing us all is through cheaters. Why would we make this entire war for nothing when they are losing so badly? The reality is that they refuse to budge on making everything return to how it was before the war. Personally, I can speak for the entire AFFS in saying that we don't want things to go back to the way they were. We don't want this fight to be for nothing. So to rephrase your question to be more accurate, you've lost. Why are you still fighting? If you want the war to end, speak to your local Lopadi governor and pressure them to secede and make peace. The Lopadi High Command is not going to end the war until they are forced to. Secondly, the statement made in this phase is simply wrong. We have spawn point, not spawn. All the spawn point did was establish a dividing point between northern and southern spawn. Lopez still has a good hold on the southern spawn territories and refuses to negotiate their independence with us. We haven't yet freed spawn because Lopez is still holding much of the region under the tight grip. The second phrase, or rather misconception used, relates to the last point. It's always something along the lines of, why should the Lopez cities be freed if they don't want to be? The answer is very simple. The people of Lopez have basically infested these territories that were not theirs, and the Lopez inhabitants are unfortunately unable to think for themselves, and so they just want to be Lopez now. The main territories we actually want are the ones in the spawn region, namely Blocktopia and Fencha, which at the end we got Fencha by working hard and by fighting hard. These places have absolutely no business being in Lopez or in that to strengthen Lopez as an empire. I will start with Fencha. Before the war, Lopez paid zero attention to Fencha. During the coalition war, it was seen as a joke, something that they didn't need to bother protecting because it didn't matter. Only now that spawn is the point of contention, do they even acknowledge its existence, and even still, they refuse to give them any aid. Fencha has been built up entirely by the Fencha members. It has not received the same quote-unquote makeover treatment as other Lopedian cities. in the west, like Alexandria and Lopet Island, simply because it still is only seen as a pawn to play for Lopet power in the region. I truly wish that it would be possible for Fencha to be given independence without delopetification, due to the fact that it hasn't been overrun by Lopedis yet, but recent leaks prove that it may not be possible. Secondly, I will speak on Blocktopia. Everyone knows that Blocktopia was the unfortunate victim to show Lopet that griefing would not be exposed to them during the coalition war. And yet how much did they do to fix the problem that they caused? The answer is very little. During the war, they spent maybe a few days filling in the crater of Blocktopia before moving on, leaving Arsonist to complete the rest of the work himself. In that time, they have done makeovers on Galeria, Alexandria, Lopet Island, and to some extent Mephisto, with zero help being given to Arsonist, who Luke admitted has rebuilt the city mostly on his own. The fact of the matter is that these spawn region cities are treated like they do not matter to Lopet, as anything more than points on a map that give them the ability to invade spawn. The delopetification of the spawn region will see these territories return to their rightful owners, once they are cleansed of all brainwashing. The FFFS will also offer them places in the alliance as spawn factions and will receive actual attention and help with repairs and makeovers. The last city I will mention is Mephisto. Not much needs to be said about it. They fought hard to stay out of Lopet, but were forced to become a Lopet state after being defeated. They were then all brainwashed into thinking that Lopet is the savior. What has Lopet done to Mephisto? Genuine question. The answer is that it has become yet another glorified military outpost. There is a giant lava-casted, disgusting-looking wall. They ruined their surrounding terrain just to try to get an easier win. Their own members burnt the city after it was announced it would be given to us. And then to top it all off, a remark was made that, quote-unquote, no Mephistans live in Mephisto anymore. Lopet has committed genocide on the Mephistan people and replaced them with Lopet drones. When we delopetified the city, we will be giving all actual Mephisto members a chance to come and live there and even rule over it on spectral checks and run to make sure they are delopetified. And finally, the last lie I will debunk today is the lie that so many people have in their head that we somehow are in the wrong in the conflict. There is a reason that the FFS has only lost one member, that being the insane person named Highface. The entire war, whereas Lopet has lost countless numbers of people. We are united because we know we have to be. The spawn region was trampled on by Lopet in the time before the war. Every single faction in the AFFS was pushed around by Lopet at some point, and they refused to even apologize. I would like to say that since we have shown that Lopet is incapable of winning, they have attempted to reach out and apologize to some of our members to get them to turn on us. It has not worked even once, because everyone can tell it's not genuine. Lopet started this war because they thought that it would be easy to trample on us, an alliance of small, meaningless factions in their opinion. We have proven them wrong. It's time for Lopet to surrender and negotiate to our terms. Otherwise, we will show them the same treatment they showed so many of our members before the war. This is war, if victory or martyrdom. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.